Okay, because I didn't bring props for my presentation. You're
So on your prop.
Just quickly, because what I wanted to, sorry, did I do anything? Sorry.
Yeah,
You're used to me. Your mom gave me permission.
Yeah, okay.
We also have one of our social activities. Thank you for going along with me now. Which was started out as our anti-bullying group, which has turned to peer power. That's why I wanted to keep you here, since you're here. Peer Power is 3 high school classes, and then some, well, there's other kids from other areas. They come in, and we do a lot talking about, we change it into high school kind of teenage topics. So this year we've done friendship.
Yes.
Right? We spent a lot of time talking about friendship. How to get friends, make friends, keep friends. What else? Help me out here. I know I put you on the spot. At the beginning, which we work on all the time, and even the younger kids do it in their own way in their classes, because social skills, friendship is very important, but the other kids work on it in my room with the other teachers. And also, we were just finishing up the last few months on anxiety.
Yes.
And how to reduce it.
Which I have a lot of today.
Yeah, I don't know why. We all have a lot. What's your number? No.
10,000.
We have number system we use to kind of go over our numbers and how we're feeling, and Mo's really good. And a lot of the kids, you guys are one of them, are very honest and willing to.
I'm brutally honest.
I know, she's brutally honest, so I'm not going to keep her much longer. I'm afraid of what she'll say. So, and we talk about how they're feeling, how to handle friends, strategies, anxiety, and we broke down the anxieties into different, like, anxieties that they deal with. And just so you know, teenagers, their topic was parents on the top of the list with increasing anxiety. I don't know, Matt's a little quieter with it, with his thoughts, which is fine. But yes, he's getting ready. But we talked a lot about the parents and their, you know, I was on the parent side, just so you know. So, but we do that every week, and we've done a good job with it, right? And there's absolutely no bullying in this school, 0 tolerance, right, Mel?
Yeah.
And you can vouch for that right now. Okay, now I'm afraid of what you're going to say. Something. I got this. Some good reading for you. I'll pass this up.
I'm helping out. Nancy, I wanted to ask you something about that. Now that you brought it up.
Now I'm really afraid.
No, you should.
I know you.
You should be, exactly. Now, just about the bullying thing, because, you know, I made a comment to somebody about here. I says, oh, there would never be bullying in a school like this. Because, you know, these kids, they're so sweet and everything like that. And as it turned out, I found out that there actually was a case in this school of a kid that was doing a version of bullying, and it actually does happen. I was actually surprised.
It happens everywhere.
Yeah, I was surprised. I'm just curious to find out, like, how do you handle it? Because I didn't realize it would happen with these kinds of kids, because every time I see them, they're always like, oh, they love each other, and I didn't think they would even, that could even happen amongst these kids, because they're always like loving each other.
Which is,
but
most of our kids,
deal with
excellent question.
Here?
Well, it's really good. Well, as I said, the kids know there's a 0, like, they're in big trouble if they're bullying. And our bullying, I don't think our bullying is like, thank goodness, like we've seen at the outside level in the high schools and middle school, in elementary school, okay, girls.
Our bullying there. I know what happened
do expect
there. I was surprised that it would even remotely
Well, I
happen.
think part of it is because a lot of our students, honestly, have come in from other schools. I'm not blaming them solely, but they have been really, so many of our kids have really been picked on severely, I would say, Ms. G, and we've heard some horrible sad stories from other schools, and they've been picked on. And then as we teach our kids, and I'm sure you're well aware of, people that have been bullied then turn around and are the ones bullying. So we've had some coming in with kind of that kind of, I've been picked on, now I'm in this place, and you know, and you don't expect it. We talk a lot about the kids, how, and you add with our kids, you add the problem of they have problems understanding body language and receptive language and expressive language.
Maybe they wouldn't even realize that they're actually bullying somebody.
That turns out to be a lot of it.
They probably don't even know. Like in the case of this particular young man that was doing it, he probably didn't even realize. Because I know this young man, when I found out who it was, I went, oh my God, no, he's a sweetie. I know for a fact this didn't even realize he was doing it, because I know who the young man is. I went, I don't think he even realized he was doing it, and the young boy, he was doing it too. I don't think he even realized he was being bullied, but it was in fact a bullying situation.
That is with our kids, the way they
know what
run
I
on
mean?
I think you hit it right on the head. I think that sometimes
Yeah.
our kids say things, and if you then sit them down, they don't even understand what they've said.
Right, the one who was
They have
doing
no
it
sense
didn't
that they hurt
realize it, the
someone's
one who's
feelings,
having it
yeah.
done didn't realize it, but the
Yeah.
woman who saw it is an aide,
Yeah.
and I know her, and she intervened and said, don't do this again, I don't like it, so, and then both of the boys, the 2 young boys who this happened to, were kind of taken
Yeah.
aback. So,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, it seems like an adult would have to intervene.
We do have to explain stuff.
Either one
You know what,
didn't
just they need it
realize.
to be interpreted for them.
Right.
So sometimes there's a need to just sit them down and say, do you
Right.
understand what you were expressing to him, and did you understand what he was saying to you?
So is that how that would be
We do, we have to
handled?
sit down, and we can't just say, you can't do this. We have to say, you said, get out of my face, I hate you.
Right, and that's
And
wrong
they
and
interpret
hurtful.
it, yeah.
But is that how
Yeah.
you handle it?
We have
How
to
do
be
you-
very blunt,
Like, you just
specific.
hurt his feelings, well, I did, yeah,
Right.
because, this is wrong because.
Because you said this, they
Because I
don't,
don't
yeah.
think they
Right,
realize.
and that's not how you stay friends, if you say something like that.
Right, or
Because
make
a
us
lot of-
hurt
Shrinking.
him,
Right,
right.
That
exactly.
they don't know.
Exactly.
I
That's
always
what I'm
felt good
saying.
that
I
my
know
son
this
probably
kid didn't
wouldn't know
realize.
that he was being bullied.
Right.
Well, I've had some that,
Some that they don't.
they
No.
come from public schools, and our student that has come here, she was bullied in the public school, but she didn't realize she was really the one being bullied. But her siblings were in the school, and her
Right.
siblings knew that, and that
Yeah.
was trouble.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, that's right, because our kids, there's, they can't, they just, it's really difficult. We do
Yeah.
we do a lot of it, but it's like one of those teachable moments always.
You have
We
to get
step
right
in and
on it
talk.
though,
Right.
as the adults in here, you have
That's
to,
what I think, you know,
Exactly.
and I think we also empower our students
right,
to, if they see something, to speak up to someone,
do-
because
but
they
there
may
were-
see on the
in this
bus or.
particular moment though, I just have to say this because it kind of, it upset me a little bit because I found out there were also other aides standing there, and the other aides did not want to be involved in this particular moment. One did. That kind of upset me because they didn't want to lose their job by speaking up. It was like, and I thought, are you kidding me? Really? This was a teachable moment, okay? Plain and simple, and even though it happened in a school like this, it still had to be addressed right there. You cannot wait on a situation like this.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't wait until later, because then the kid's gonna forget,
No.
both of them are gonna forget
Yeah.
what just happened.
It has to be
And the
immediate,
one
yeah.
aide did it on the spot, and I thought, thank God.
And it's also really, and we got into also where we were talking about bullying, and then every kid in the high school is like, they're bullying me. If one said one thing wrong,
Right.
then they were all went the opposite way. And everybody was bullying for every little thing. So for our kids, it was really
Right.
difficult for them.
But maybe you can just have a little meeting with your entire staff and just tell them, if you do happen to just see any kind of a bullying situation, just do not be afraid. You're not gonna lose your job or get, or whatever. Just please, just say something immediately. Don't be afraid or go, oh, I don't wanna get involved. Just please don't do that. That's really not the
And
way
you
to
know,
address
this
it.
comes up actually in October because it's the anti-violence.
Right, right.
So I know the teachers and we all do
Oh.
something to allow the
Okay.
kids to understand what bullying is and that it's not acceptable and it
That's
hurts
an
people's
opportunity
feelings and
right
you
there.
can't stay friends and so that it always comes up
Maybe
once a year
just
just
let
with
the
that and I know
staff
that
and-
Ms.
Well,
Congo.
Yeah.
it's hard sometimes, I find, because there could be such a difference between the classes here, like the older kids' classes. Like my class, does some of the other ones have hands-on physical, toileting, feeding, all that. My kids look really easy, but they're difficult in a different way, and it's because of the emotional way, it's the talking, it's all that. So some of the
Right.
other staff that are, used to one, a lot of times they'll come get the teachers that are familiar with those students and fill us in on this happened,
Yeah.
can you,
Yeah.
and they usually come right to us, but if they don't know the students like we do, they
Yeah.
don't see them that often, because you don't know with some of our kids what that,
That's true.
they may turn around and act if they say something to them. So usually,
Yeah.
quite frequently, they'll say, I saw them talking, but I don't know what it was about, can you just look into it? So we kind of take it from
Yeah.
there, so.
Do you
Yeah.
teach them how to deal with bullying on the outside? Like if somebody was bullying them in
Yes,
public?
and one of the things, like Ann said, we teach them what, you know, they should say, their biggest thing is they'll say, tell a teacher. I mean, that's their say, or tell a parent or whatever. And then we also teach them, well, that if you're guilty of it if you're watching. We talk about the bystanders and being a bystander if you're, you know, if they're getting picked on. We did just pretty much the bullying thing, when we first started I called it a bullying class, but that's like teaching you how to bully. So we kind of did change it to peer power, but we did it for a couple years, and Miss G would come in and be our speaker and tell the kids and stuff, but it's something that we'll always continue with because it's always there and it will never stop. Is it like, are we like a public school? Not, you know, just other schools, I don't want to be bashing them, but I think we have a really good handle on it.
Yeah.
And we try to. But our kids, just like they're the same as every other
They are
kid everywhere,
teenagers, right?
they're teenagers and younger ones, so we will. But, you know,
But we
that's
do
a very
try to,
good point.
you know, like you said, maybe give them a script or a role play, because as they graduate, they go into the regular world.
Right.
People
Right.
might not be so nice all the time.
Exactly.
So,
Right,
you know,
but
how to
rather than
handle that
it
is
being like, I
important.
mean, there's like teen suicide and all these things where I think if you give to the child the tools of like, that person has low self-esteem, don't let their words affect you.
Right, and that's how we actually go into our different topics. The kids in the group kind of picked the topics because we were doing so much of the not bullying, and then we got into how you feel when you're bullied and how, you know, and they picked the topic of friendship and how to be friends.
Yeah.
That came out of the bullying, and what,
Yeah.
you know, and they'll hear me say, I'll say, well, that's not being a really good friend because you said this, and they'll go, okay, I'll be, you know, and they try to really be a better friend. And the anxiety thing, because part of the stuff that they talked about in some of the bullying things were what kids do, and our kids are very well aware of it, some of course more than others, that suicide is, you know, some answers for some kids, and our kids are aware of that.
Right.
You know, like I said, not all of them, they're all at different levels.
It is sad too, because I think a lot of times you don't know what's going on in the child's home. Maybe there's certain behaviors in a child's home that are considered acceptable, and then they come here, and it's hard to gauge what goes on at home, but I still believe that, I mean, in the case of these two kids, I don't think either one of them realized, like the kid who
Yeah,
was doing
sure.
it, did not. I know this young man, he's so sweet. He had no idea what he was doing was wrong.
So we
That
we
was
try our best to
sad.
keep ahead of it, but that was an excellent question.
Yeah.
Scared me a little, but.
I know.